Hi everyone, Thomas Datt here. Thank you so much for joining us on today's transmission. I have a very special guest with me, and that will be Jordan, my student. Hi, Jordan.
Hi.
Nice to see you. Thanks for doing the live with us. Is this your first one?
Yes. Yes, this is my first live. All right, I'm a little nervous, kind of.
Are you a little nervous?
It doesn't look like it's my first live because I have this awesome rig, but it's my first time doing this. So, yeah.
There's nothing more uncomfortable than going live in front of the whole world.
It doesn't feel like we're live. It feels like just talking, like we always do in our class.
Kind of, except my heart's racing a little bit more than usual, because usually I'm just telling you how things are, and now I have this little inner conflict of, is this how things are, or are you just making shit up?
Oh,
I don't know. But I did feel quite like Doctor Strange just preparing this presentation for everyone. If you guys might notice, there might be a bit of a lag with my voice, because I had to go through some serious multi-dimensional tampering of realities to make sure that today, when we play the music, it's going to be in stereo. Like, can you believe that Zoom gives us a heartache over stereo? It's very hard to do this kind of stuff. With that said, which by the way is resistance, if you guys don't know what resistance is, what it looks like, what it feels like, what it sounds like, it's kind of like that, what you just witnessed. And everyone has resistance, and it's especially noticeable when you're trying to make music and you just don't seem to be able to do so for whatever reason, and then you try to force it and it's just not working because there's some kind of resistance in there that is keeping you from being in the flow. Jordan, what do you know about resistance?
Oh my gosh. Even trying to talk about resistance is I'm getting a lot of resistance talking about it, honestly. You know, when before I first started this course, I had a lot of it. I really tried to force songs out. I tried to do things like not really work on the intros of my songs or work on the middle parts or build them up, because I'd have fun building them up and doing that part. But then I get resistant to adding things and doing special effects or cool things, or things that actually build the track up, and skip to the next part and skip to the next part, racing to the end, hoping that I'd create this awesome track. And sometimes I did think they were awesome, but not really looking back and realizing, of course, what I'd made, and if it was actually awesome or not, or if I could even feel it or not. And I'd listen to it with my mind, not my heart. That was a huge hurdle, and a huge thing that I've realized with music is you really need to take care of yourself before you put yourself out there in the music. And a lot of my resistance I kind of overcame with some self-love and self-acceptance. So I really tried to work on that, and it was tough. It's not easy. It's like working out for the first time. And I really got through it. Tom has taught me. He's been an amazing teacher and has taught me a few good ways. And Alicia, I cannot forget Alicia. But they both have taught me a few good ways to really push through it and get through it. And it's not as easy or obvious as it seems. You could have resistance to something that happened 10 years ago on some personal day, and someone said something to you and that stuck with you and has been creating this type of resistance to doing this type of process. And that day, and someone said something manifested into it manifested into a big resistance kind of thing. So it's it's kind of my story on it. It's, you have to work through it. You have to grow through it. You have to take care of yourself.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Hopefully it resonated with people all over the world, because we all fucking go through resistance more often than not. So with that said, I would like for you to share with us your track before you started walking the path, which was
Sure.
somewhere around 4-5 months ago.
Sure. So I have 2 tracks here. Hopefully they're not too loud. I'll play this one after, but this one I called Gold, and it's a bit long, but
Before you start,
yeah.
can you tell us how you felt about Gold before you started with me?
So I was progressing, and my sound was getting better and better. Practice makes perfect. It does. And I felt that this track was just so good. I got people to work on it with me. I put it together. I got advice on it, and I really put my all into it. But my all at that time was very mind driven. It was very in my mind, in my head, getting procedures and techniques down and just trying to execute them as best I could. And that's the way I was very analytical when I did it. It was just a really good way to.
Thank you for sharing.
Tom,
I'm listening.
You gotta stop doing that, man. My mind, you're tripping me out because I hear myself. Anyway.
Sorry. It's the Facebook feedback from the live. I gotta make sure we're tuned into that as well. All right,
so yeah.
You're saying your track was awesome.
I actually thought this track was great. I personally thought that this was the best track I ever made. Not really realizing that it's missing a lot of things. It's missing stuff. There's holes in it, and the what happens from part to part, how you feel about it. Now, I did a good job, in my opinion, on the feeling of building up the tension and everything, but there's just a lot of holes. There's a lot of parts that don't have things, and now I have to say this is a work in progress. I thought it was near completion, and now we'll have to see how it goes from now, because I'll work on it again. But yeah, okay, I guess I'll
take it away
now.
Yeah,
all right, here we go. kind of stop it there. So, um,
Thank you
yeah,
so much for sharing that with the world. That's very brave of
course.
you. How do you feel
I
about it
know.
now?
Um, it sounds very flat. I don't know if that's just me because I'm a little nervous or something, but it sounded very it didn't sound very like smooth. It sounded very like
What did it feel like? Forget sound. What did it feel like?
it felt a bit nostalgic because of the times that I was in before. It felt, I don't know, it felt a bit hollow. Like it's
Were you a bit
like it's
hollow when you were making this?
I think so. Yeah. I think I was not really with myself at that time, and I was just trying to make music as a thing to fill myself up with something, but that's not how it works now, is it? You gotta
Was it
be in
like
a
an
certain
external
space.
source of happiness or
Yes.
gratification? Is something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. That's definitely, especially around the time that I made this, I was pretty low vibes. It wasn't a really great time for me, but I'd always come back to music as a source to try and make myself happy and push myself and have something to do with myself. And yeah, I really made that track as a track for me, and I thought it was great, so I was happy to share it around. But yeah, now feeling it, it does really feel a bit empty,
Check.
like hollow
So
feeling.
check this out. Jason said, "This is a solid track. Looking forward to hear how he's progressed." I'm so excited.
Okay. It's not, I'm not saying it's a bad track. I really
No
tried
one's
to put
saying
my
that.
all into it,
I
but
mean,
it's
there's many labels that would sign that for
yeah,
you, but
I
I
I
don't think you
know.
want to be on those labels. I think you're shooting for something next level.
Well, I also want to make sure that when someone hears and feels this track, that it is a full me, not a me that isn't 100% into it, a me that is 100% into it, one soul, body, and mind, not just mind. Because this is well put together, and I really got it together, and it sounds really good, but it's all mind. It's all my mind that did that, not my soul, not my feelings, not just really getting into it. And this next track was the first time that I did get into it. So I
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
yes, I made this. So this is a bit of a different style.
Big difference too.
Big difference. Yeah, I made this, and it was just kind of messing around by accident, but that's kind of how all tracks go. But then I did this one part just by my intuition. My feeling was like, yeah, maybe we should try this and that. And I I just I was feeling better. I was feeling I mean, I was in a lot of pain, emotional pain, but it was a necessary emotional pain to make myself feel better now. Um, like being sore after working out at the gym. I was working out my soul, so it comes with emotional and different type of pain. Really, it's a different type of pain. So I was in a. It's at the time I was like I was in pain, but I was free. I was more free with myself. So that's what this track is. So this track is called Awaken. So I tribute this to my uh, spiritual awakening, essentially, um, through music and for music. So let's take a listen to this. I'm sorry, it takes a little bit to build up DJ intro and everything.
What an awkward drop right there. Now talk. How does this one make you feel? Huh?
Honestly, when I listen, so I do a car test. I think everybody does with their music. I did a car test on this and I started crying. I couldn't believe I made that song, and it was so me. I just felt like I released a lot of stuff, and I got to a point where I was honestly, I felt like I was proud of myself. And that never happened to me before. So I started crying. And yeah, I was really, really happy, really, really happy with how this turned out. Happy with myself for making something like this and putting my heart into something instead of just trying to get a high or try to get something to make me feel uplifted. This is more than that to me. It was like I put my soul into it, I guess, and really tried to make it sound good and get all the details right and really bring down this new expression of myself. And it really turned out well, because that whole song really summarized me coming out of a very muddy, resistant place and coming into a very shifting my energy and myself into a better flow state, a better flowy place, just a better place overall, and really awakening to myself. And yeah, that's why it's called Awaken.
That was really, really good. I actually just, with the first one, there was just, I already told you how it made me feel before. I'm not sure if I can remember the same exact thing here, but I was kind of like on edge, like when is this gonna end, sort of thing. That kind of feeling, like when is this gonna I want to get to the good stuff, you know. It's like going through the lessons. You're like, oh, the basic stuff. I want to get to the pads.
Yeah,
like, you're not gonna understand pads if you don't understand how to feel basics, you know. So that was all like, yeah. And this one, as soon as just the percussion, there's very little happening in the build-up intro, just the percussion. I was like, this feels good. I don't even care what the percussion is doing. It feels good. The other one, as soon as the intro came in, I was like, just resistance all over the place. This is
resistance. Absolutely.
This was good.
Absolutely.
Shit, man. That's only what, like 4 months difference? You're not even done yet.
I know.
You still got some ways to go.
I know.
And I'm really excited to see and hear and most importantly feel what your new music is going to sound like. I'm going to stop sharing the screen so people can see our faces now. There we go. That's a little better. If anyone has any questions, feel free to just throw them in there. Obviously, I'm not going to be here all day long waiting for questions. You can rewatch this at a later time, and then we will always drop something into the chat room. Now, if you want to be making, next level music, and what is next level music, right? Next level music is the music that comes from the heart and it comes from the soul, and you are a clear channel for the divine creativity and inspiration that wants to come through you and then be grounded into the music, while putting some kind of intention into it. And the intention we want to be putting into music these days is to heal the world, and we do that by healing individuals through music, and we do that by healing ourselves first. So if that is something you are interested in, making music that is going to heal people and you get to heal along the way as well, then just hit me up. I would like to announce real quickly that, well, there's been a lot of you asking about a beginner's course. And maybe most of you guys know that I'm not doing beginners right now because I'm just focusing on individuals that already know how to use VST synths and maybe FL Studio or Ableton or whatever it is, but are struggling finding a connection to themselves so they could be themselves in the expression of that music rather than copying someone else, right? So it's always coming back to you, how you feel and who you are, and then how your music sounds. So we're just kind of briefly announcing today, for the hell of it, that we are going to have a beginner's course for you guys that have no clue whatsoever about how to put a sampled kick and turn that into a beat, and other basics of how to use FL Studio. And Jordan is going to be running that show, but I am making sure that it is something I'm also happy with and something I have approved. So for those beginners, Jordan will take you on, and then he will prepare you for what I'm going to do to you, and that is make you cry and make you face all your trauma. And basically this 5-month program is creating a track from scratch and putting all of your trauma into that piece of music. So as you are healing, so is your understanding of what music actually feels like and how to put yourself into frequencies that are healing and feel amazing as well, as opposed to, for instance, resistance or anger. Not to say there's anything wrong with anger. A lot of people love listening to anger at the speeds of 140 or higher. I think we've been there, we've done that as a human species. It's time to get the fuck out of anger and fear and anxiety and frustrations and come back into the heart center so we can make a difference on this planet. And again, I'm not saying there's something wrong with anger or those kind of emotions. All I'm saying is that there's more to life than a track filled with anger. Now, you could build a story that has 3 very distinct parts in that piece of music, where maybe you start off with anger or something else. And the point is that you use anger, but you also elevate that energy to perhaps give hope to others that there's something else on the other side of fear, there's something else on the other side of anger. And then that final piece on the cake, that cherry, is finishing that story where you went from anger, depression, to hopefulness, to an actual resolution where everything comes together. That is what next level music is. And you're probably not going to learn that anywhere else, because no one else knows what that is. No one else is really capable of completely tuning into their heart center and going, I love myself today. Just today.
Took me a little bit to get there too, honestly. Sorry to cut you off, but when I was first starting this class, I didn't even know what that looked like. I didn't even know what that felt like. And just in a 2 months of this class and the course and doing everything, for the first time, I was like listening to my music and being like, man, I'm actually so good at this. Man, I love making music. And I had never said that before.
I think a lot of people get stuck in thinking they love making music, or wanting to believe that they love making music, but because they're so in their head, they're chasing the goddamn dragon, and they're probably not going to catch that dragon. And the dragon is external sources of happiness. For instance, the checklist of, if I get this song finished, I'll be happy. If I get this song signed to a label, I'll be happy. If I get a gig at some club, I'll be happy. If I play at some festival, I'll be happy. If I start traveling the world, I'll be happy. If I get a #1 single, I'll definitely be happy. And I went through all that fucking shit. I was never happy.
There you go. There's the You guys are getting part of a lesson that yeah, that what he just said there is so true, because that's all the stuff that I thought was gonna make me happy myself. Until I made that Awaken song, I was like, oh my gosh, I am so happy making this song, and I want to make more songs. And all that, what I thought was going to make me happy, pales in comparison to making songs that fulfill you. That's the thing, at least from my experience. That's the ticket. Making stuff that makes you happy and fulfills you, not doing all these things to fulfill you, because it's like trying to buy a fancy car. Is the car going to make you happy? It's a car, gets you from point A to point B, has power windows. Maybe it's a Mercedes, maybe it's a Lamborghini, but it honestly, hey man, if you like cars, great, but I think maybe if you built your own Lamborghini from scratch or something like that, it would be a little bit more fulfilling driving it than just buying a Lamborghini and saying you're awesome, right? It's something along those lines.
I'm so awesome. Look at me go. My ego's definitely not through the roof.
Yeah.
One of the biggest killers of this industry, or let's be honest, any other industry and any other aspect of life, is ego. And I'm not afraid to point out to everyone that I'm very aware that I had a pretty big ego during my 15 years of building myself up and traveling and being on all the damn labels and not being happy at the same time. So, you know, there was anger and depression and frustration and all these things of not being good enough while still trying to make music that, you know, was different and higher frequency without me even realizing what higher frequency meant, because I was definitely not vibing high, which is the difference between what the music was then and what I'm doing now, and exactly what I'm teaching to my students, which is next level shit that takes you on a ride, multi-dimensional ride. We're no longer doing I'm complaining outro. We're doing I'm complaining, but I thought about this thing and this thing happened in a song, and you're like, what the fuck? Did not see that coming. Where did you take me? Now I need to ground. Your music is too high vibrational. I gotta ground.
Yeah. It's magical, guys. I listened to some of the stuff he's working on now. He kind of showed me, and I even for me, I you're a wizard, man. I don't know what the heck you're doing right now. Yeah, you magical person. I don't know how you're doing that, but I think I'm getting it. I'm not a full-fledged graduate student, guys. This is kind of the middle of my semester. So this magician is teaching me his ways, and I'm still trying to, my mind can't comprehend what's going on, because I think it's more of a soul thing, you know? It's not a mind thing. You can't just, hey, he did all these things and that's why. No, it's more of a feeling. You get follow your feeling on that. Like, how does it feel? You got to get out of your mind. You got to go into your feels, your heart, your gut, and that kind of stuff. And yeah, the music he makes, my mind is like, oh well, it tries to justify how I feel, and my feelings are off the charts. It's like, what's going on? My mind's like, what's going on, right? My mind's asking my body what's happening, and my body's just vibing so high to stuff. So yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents.
I love how you're trying to explain what I'm doing with music.
Because I'm explaining is a mind thing, right? I can't. It's
you
hurting
can't
my
explain
brain.
it. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like trying to explain what I'm teaching you guys. It's
unexplainable.
In the simplest sense, I guess, is I'm teaching you how to be how to human. This is how to human 101.
Everybody forgot.
How to feel, right? It's how to feel 101.
How to be a human, yeah.
How to feel. That's all it is. You got to feel yourself before you could feel your music. Yeah. On that note, we could probably go on for forever, and I figure because we have such a good chemistry, You guys have no idea. I mean, I'm probably going to share these videos at some point, but the stuff me and Jordan go over during the lessons or the healing sessions is we do sometimes go on forever, but it's just like it's good stuff that will potentially help others realize that what they're going through is not that crazy and everyone's going through the same shit. Just some of us got there a little sooner, so we know how to deal with it a certain way, right? So you don't have to take maybe 20 years like this guy to figure out how to love yourself and then make good music. You could just do it in 5 months and then make good music. Why would you want to take 20 years to do what I did? And I know a lot of people look up to me. Well, don't do what I did. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Like everyone else, like I was just throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks. And I did copy some people here and there for inspiration, and eventually I sounded like myself more and more, but that's not the way to go. The quickest way is through here, to know yourself. Do you know yourself? I don't know. I'm still figuring that out.
Me too. I have no idea. Dude, when I joined this class, I thought I knew, and then midway through the class, I was like, "Who the hell am I? What's going on here? Where am I right now? What's happening? What am I doing tomorrow? Do I even care about what I'm doing tomorrow? I don't know. Tomorrow doesn't exist." Like, I think like it all just hit at me at once. Like,
I must have scrambled your brain just a little bit. Yeah.
I know. When I first started this class, I was not like this. Something happened to me, guys. When I first started this class, I was so I don't know who I was back then, but that's definitely not who I am now. And I'm really happy for the changes that have happened. I'm grateful for them. I'm very grateful for the changes that I've been through, and I strongly recommend anybody that wants to. No, it's this, guys. This course isn't just a course to upgrade your music. This is a course to upgrade you. This is a course to upgrade you first and foremost. Then your music comes after, and the results are jaw-dropping. I cannot express this enough. If you're already very good at music, like sort of like myself, I was pretty proficient at what I was doing, but now I just can't even begin to explain what is going on with me.
You right tried. Now. You gave it a red hot go about it. Yeah, I kind of understood the bumbling and stuff. It feels like a baby trying to walk, but like just keeps like wobbling and falling on its face. Kind of that's what this program is like. Like, oh, that's you think true. You think you're an adult? Oh, okay. Well, when you come here, we're gonna show you that you're still a baby, and we're gonna show you how to, crawl and then wobble around and then walk and then like tap you on the butt. Like you are ready to take on the world. Go get them.
And then you fall on your face.
and that's okay, because we all fall on our face every once in a while.
You get back up again. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I'm sorry. I had to quote that song.
That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
I had to quote that song.
It might be stuck in everyone's heads now.
Remix time. Remix time.
All right, before we ramble on forever, just gonna thank everyone for tuning in, whether it was actually when we were live or later on wherever you've stumbled upon this video, which it will be everywhere. Trust me, I'll be making sure of that. It will be on YouTube. I'll put the audio on SoundCloud, iTunes. I'll probably put it on my Twitch account as well. So there's no way you're gonna miss this, and I think, if you made it this far, congratulations, and thank you for making it this far. I appreciate you, and
I appreciate you too.
Lots of love. And Jordan, thank you for coming and being courageous. Like we could totally do these more often, because they're fun.
Oh no, my work was joking about that. They saw me on on a live, like not a live stream, but they're like, I went on a video call with this setup, and they're like, "So what's your Twitch account?" And I was like, "I don't have a Twitch account."
Not yet.
Now you're saying, yeah, not yet. Now you're saying we could do these more often. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll have a Twitch account, guys. I guess I'll have a Twitch account.
Sky's the limit now, man. We're just building the foundation to something awesome. Yeah, cool. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the time of your busy day to write something, and we love you really much. Very good love, energy, frequency. Pew, pew, pew. Here's all the love. See you guys.